Hi, my name is ZZ, aka Gothy Trash Mess, and if you're new here, I'm really bad at intros. Yeah. You remember that? Oh, I don't like that. I freaked out a little bit. My camera angle changed because my phone keeps falling down, but that doll in the background, my face box switched from on me to on her, and then a little like bloody thing came through the air. You remember that? It's just wild because everything was fine, and then all of a sudden like that thing happened and my camera kept falling down. I don't like it. Do we remember like the short form series that I did with the 30 layers challenge? Well, I shoved all of those videos together and now we're doing a compilation because I'm lazy. Yeah, let's do it. Do it. I hated that. Don't let me do that again. All right. Time to watch.
If you're watching this, you're witnessing the birth of one of the most pointless projects I've ever taken on, but I've still got a bunch of speedball ink, so we're gonna do this stupid painting because I honestly don't feel like filming anything else. Oh yeah, I totally forgot to explain what it is I'm actually doing. I think I'm just gonna keep painting the same piece of paper with layers of paint until we get to 30. Yeah, 30 layers of paint and we'll see where it takes us. I think the only rule I'm gonna have to make for myself is that I have to use just one color for every layer, and then at the very end, I'm going to mount it on a wood block and try to scrape parts of it away. Stick around to see me waste my time. Hello and welcome to part 2 of the 30 layers challenge. If you're new here, let me catch you up. I have this piece of paper that I'm adding 30 layers of paint to, and then I'm gonna scrape some of it away after I mount it onto a wood block. It sounds a little boring, and that's because it is, but we're doing it and you're watching it, so here we go. I don't feel like spending an entire month of content on this, so I've decided to add a new caveat. Every day I have to double the amount of layers I did the day before, which means today I'm doing 2 layers. I started out with some Dollar Tree black and it's all chunky because I let it sit in the bottle for a couple years, and then I dug out this heart-shaped resin mold so I could mix a little bit of water and pink acrylic in there. It's a different color pink than yesterday. I painted that over top of the black, but it didn't really dry down very well, so this is what it's looking like. Hello and welcome to day 3 of our 30 layers challenge. You guys asked for green, so of course we're making it our next layer. Also, if you're new here, hi, my name is ZZ and I make absurd garbage. Right now we're doing a 30 layers of paint challenge where I add 30 layers of paint to the same sheet of paper, and then we're gonna mount it to a wood block at the end and carve right into it. Also, the amount of layers we do every day has to double. Yesterday we did 2, which means today we're doing 4 layers. I wanted to let everything dry in between each layer, but I didn't really have time, which makes everything kind of melty. I don't know how I feel about the meltiness, but it's okay. We have a lot of layers to go. Okay, so we just did green, light blue, and light pink. Our last layer for today is gonna be dark blue. I made it kind of blobby, but trust the process. So I woke up this morning to add more layers to our 30 layers challenge and noticed the paper is starting to curl. I know I could have just gone to the hardware store and gotten a wood block for dirt cheap, but the consumerist economy has turned my brain to mush and I went to the art store instead. Also, I checked the comments on the last video and your color recommendations are coming soon. If you're new here, hi, my name is ZZ and I make absurd garbage. Right now we're doing a 30 layers of paint challenge where I add 30 layers of paint to the same sheet of paper, and then the plan was to mount it onto a wood block at the end and carve into it. But since it's starting to curl, we're gonna mount it to a wood block today. Don't worry though, we're not carving it until the very end. Okay, so I may have taken a little too long of a break, but we are back at the 30 layers challenge once again, and we're starting with some requests. If you're new here, hi, my name is ZZ and I make absurd garbage. Right now we're doing a 30 layers challenge, which is exactly what it sounds like. We're going for 8 layers today. First, we did a bunch of orange blobs, and then a big yellow one right on top of that blue. Right after that, we hit it with some purple, and it looks like a gross smudgy donut, and then this deep green that really looks blue, and more blue, but this time I pretended to be Jackson Pollock. I know this looks really chaotic and bad, but trust the process. The more blobby we make it now, the more we have to work with when we carve into it at the end. And then I threw on some purple, and finally black. Guess what? I didn't forget about the 30 layers challenge. Well, that was a lie. I did forget, but only for a little bit, and then I remembered it existed, so I picked out 15 colors for the last 15 layers. It's supposed to be 16, but that would put us over 30, so we're sticking with 15. My plan is to make a bunch of acrylic blobs that I can peel up and glue to our piece. I want to be able to cut them into fun shapes when they dry and make them seem interesting. The 30 layers challenge is also supposed to be over by now, but I definitely think there's more to come. Now, please excuse me while I very intently watch this paint dry for the next 7 hours. So we're nearing the end of our 30 layers challenge, and this acrylic blob is finally dry, which means it's time to peel it off the plastic and slap it onto our wood block. I only had like half a stick of hot glue, so I just loosely tacked it around the edges and hope for the best. If you're new here, Hi, my name is Zizi, and I make absurd garbage. Right now, we're adding 30 layers of paint to this poor sad wood block. I tried to use these wood carving tools to gouge out a bunch of chunks, but I don't really know how to use carving tools, so we may have to revisit the carving part at a later time. It's looking a little odd, but don't worry, we are not done yet.
Okay, wait, I'm just gonna jump in here because I don't really have a good place for an outro, so we're not at the end, we're one short form video in the compilation away from the end, but I wanted to say if you made it this far, thank you so much. And also, today's band shout out is Pocket Sand. They're about to not be a band, so go look them up and listen to them while you can. I'm death gripping this microphone because it's very late at night and I want to finish this video, and now here's the end.
So I noticed the edges of our 30 layer abomination are looking a little raw, which means I had to dig out my bottle of purple and absolutely violate it before slathering it all over the edges. And finally, a weight has been lifted. Our 30 layered challenge is now complete. Do I like the result? No. But did I have fun making it? A resounding hell no. But it's done. How do we feel about it? Anyways, comment because the algorithm is mean, and subscribe because I said so. Bye. Bye.